I've said it before and I'll say it again. The cyclicals are back, particularly the ones that have a nice trajectory up. When the economy heats up, and it's definitely getting hot in here, all sorts of companies that do well in expansion suddenly see their numbers surge. Just look at Owens Corning, the OC, a company that makes building materials like insulation, roofing shingles, and fiberglass composites. These guys are all about construction, transportation, to a lesser extent consumer goods, but also power generation. For years, roofing, insulation, and shingles were pretty slow business as the housing industry hibernated. Well, now it's awake, and the OC's making a killing. Here's a stock that's rallied 66% year to date, getting more than 27% just the last 3 months. Big analyst day yesterday, surging again. Now, Owens Corning reported a strong quarter at the end of October in spite of the hurricanes, and even though the stock's had a major run, I wouldn't be surprised if it's just getting started. So let's check in with Mike Thaman. He's the chairman and CEO of Owens Corning to get a better sense of his company and where it's headed. Mr. Thaman, welcome back to Mad Money.
Thanks, Jim. Thanks for having me on.
Okay, I say it's just getting started because, Mike, I've seen Owens Corning go up and down. No, it doesn't go up and down anymore. Right. It is in a clear trajectory that is, I regard, as secular growth, and therefore it must be much more sustainable than the old OC.
Yeah, I think we've taken advantage of some good market conditions for the last 3 years, and we've really seen a change in the performance of our businesses over the last 3 years. We're now growing revenue close to 10% this year. We've doubled EBIT over the last 3 years, and I think the big story in our stock and the performance has been free cash flow. Our cash flow conversion has been over 100%. We'll generate about $1.5 billion of cash flow from 2015 to 2017. So the stock is starting to realize those benefits, but those are the things that are driving the view that our performance is sustainable, because we've really done, I think, the right things to get to that view.
I think this is important because a lot of people might say, look, there were big storms, Jim. Should I buy Owens Corning for the big storms in Texas and Florida? Right. The answer is you buy it for multi-year industry trends, whether it be for composites, stricter regulatory environment in China, or the high capacity utilization rates. You buy it for industry consolidation. These are not storms.
Right. Well, let's start with the roofing business.
Okay.
The big news in roofing is that re-roof has come back. So we've had all these years of very weak re-roof demand where storms were defining the marketplace.
Yes.
Now you've seen home equity improving. People are investing in their homes. People are putting new roofs on their house. And as a result, we're seeing that core roofing market, which is our bread and butter, really come back and sustain great performance in our roofing division.
Now, I also want to talk about, I think it's, when we look at this, the acquisition you made, I don't know if you watched, we had PPG on that earlier in the week.
Yeah, I did.
And, I love that company. And one of the things that they are trying to define themselves is these high-performance coatings.
Right.
But they got rid of, I'm going to use that term, Pittsburgh Corning, which is one of their great businesses from the old legacy. Yeah. And it fits in perfectly with what you're doing.
Yeah, in May, we were able to do a transaction where we bought the Pittsburgh Corning business, which makes a product called foam glass. Right. It's actually foamed glass. And what makes this a unique product is, it's moisture resistant, it's completely flame resistant, and its performance is enduring through time. So it's very good in low temperature type applications, LNG type applications. We saw it as a real niche business that then took our insulation business globally. So we now have an Asia piece, a Europe piece, and a US piece in that business. And then about a month ago, we announced a follow-on transaction to buy the stone wool business or mineral wool business of Paroc in Europe, which now gives us a middle market, middle temperature product in Europe. So at this point now, we're looking ahead to next year. Our insulation wool business will have low temp, medium temp, and high temp product in the 3 largest insulation markets in the world: Europe, the U.S., and China.
Now, I don't want to minimize that. In Texas, they are. I was listening to the Home Depot conference call, and they literally just have had to rip everything away, and they've had to rebuild. And they're coming back strongly with everything that you have inside a house.
Yeah. When you look at what happened with that hurricane, it was really a flood. Right. And so what you tend to see is big disruptions in the supply chain, which we talked about in the quarter. Right. But once those disruptions go away, you've got to go back in and rebuild. Initially, they're turning out a lot of drywall. They're turning out a lot of insulation. Yes. That's got to go back in. There'll be roofs, and then we'll get new construction back on its feet in Texas as well.
Now, I didn't get a lot of this here, but it's something that that Mike was talking about at PPG in his call. Yeah. The millennials do different things. Now, on the Home Depot call, they said millennials aren't just spending money on that much on their house, but they like things that use less, that have smaller environmental footprint. Nothing has smaller environmental footprint than insulation.
Yes, I mean,
they must love it.
Well, we actually announced a very interesting product in the last couple months, which is we have a big renewable footprint in terms of our energy generation. Right. So we buy most of the electricity in North America through wind generation. So we actually now have the only insulation product in the marketplace that's made with 100% renewable energy. So not only does it save energy through the life of the home, but it's actually made with 100% renewable energy. We're just beginning to take that to market. But we think architects and other people who are interested in really building the greenest possible home are going to flock to that product.
Well, let's talk about that. See, at my age, I wouldn't really care.
Right.
Okay? Because I would say, okay, well, great, they make it great. This will be a major determining selling point versus the competition.
Yeah, we certainly believe so. We've been investing in core fundamental technology so that we can get the products to operate in very narrow windows of performance, which is what you need in order to be able to meet those very strict standards. And we think not only is that an opportunity for our company, we think it's an advantage we have relative to our competition.
And it's also, I do want to just close with China, because China, this is not something that I thought of as the OC in the old days, but this is big business for you.
Oh, yeah, we do very, very well in China. I think for a period of time with investors, China was seen as a negative because in our composites business, we saw such a big overcapacity in China.
Right.
But over the last decade, that theme has changed entirely. In our composites business, we now see demand growing faster than capacity. We've had stable margins and great returns. So we're investing in China. We're investing around the world. We see great opportunities. And I think the best thing I'd say is we think the best is yet to come.
Oh, I believe it.
You know, we've had 3 wonderful years.
Yep.
The stock is catching up with our performance, but this company's not done and our team's not done.
Oh, no, a lot of cash being generated. No more boom bust. That's what I really like. Okay, that's Mike Thamey. He's the chairman and CEO of Owens Corning. If you just do one thing for me, look at the chart of this stock. This is not the old OC. Mad Money's back after the break. Booyah! Jim Cramer here from Mad Money. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube. Click here to subscribe and get the jump on my exclusives with CEOs, plus market news, investing advice, and a whole lot more.